Hi guys, this is Amar and welcome to Network Engineer Stuff. So guys, in this video, we are going to focus on chapter number 2 of our playlist, Mistakes Network Engineers Must Avoid, with some real world examples. So this is chapter number 2. We've already covered chapter number 1. So chapter number 2, don't break your network. So VLAN trunking mistake must avoid. So guys, in this video, we are going to dive into a super common mistake network engineers make when working with VLAN trunk, and this mistake can cause downtime, outage, and which may create problems for network engineers. So what is the scenario here? So the scenario is Abhishek. Okay, so there's a guy whose name is Abhishek. He's a sharp L2 network engineer managing a couple of switches in a mid-size data center. Gets a request that on this particular switch, high speed tower access switch 1, create VLAN 30, okay, and add it on the trunk interface fast ethernet 0/1, which is connecting to high speed tower gateway 1. This is a very simple request. So we'll try to understand with help of this topology. So there's a big, mid-sized data center. So this is one of the you can say a part which we're trying to focus on. So this is the switch on which Abhishek have to add VLAN 30, and this VLAN 30 he also have to add on this particular interface fast ethernet 0/1, which is getting connected to this particular router or L3 switch to be particular. Now you can see over here in this particular switch, VLAN, there's a user 1 who is member of VLAN 10, there is user 2 who is member of VLAN 20, and this users, like there are multiple users, and these users are actually accessing a web server which is located over here. This is like 40.1.1.100. Okay, so these users are all currently accessing this web server. Now let's see what Abhishek did. He wanted to do this particular changes. I'll end this show, discard it. So I have the switch with me. Okay, so this is the high street tower access switch 1. So what Abhishek did was he logged into the switch, he checked the trunk interfaces, show interfaces trunk. A very easy command, a very useful command. And you can see over here that VLAN 10 and 20, they are allowed on this trunk. First of all, this fast ethernet 0/1 is a trunk which is getting connected to that gateway switch, L3 switch or router, and this is what we see, that these two VLANs are already allowed. And we also see that the user 1, user 1 is able to ping or access this particular web server 40.1.1.100. So what Abhishek did, he checked this much, and then he went into config T, okay, created VLAN 30, then he went into this interface faster than 0/1 switch port trunk allowed VLAN, because you have to allow this VLAN 30, right? So he allowed the VLAN 30. That's it. Done. Abhishek did this changes, but after this changes, alert starting coming up, the phone started ringing up, and there were a lot of users who were complaining that they were not able to access web server 40.1.1.100, specifically the users from VLAN 10 and 20. Now you can see over here, this was a user from VLAN 10, now he's not able to ping the web server. So what Abhishek did he made some mistake? Definitely yes, he made some mistake, because after he changes only there's outage. So I'll try to explain again with this PPT. Okay, so what Abhishek did was, Abhishek did this changes. Okay, he configured VLAN 30, that is fine. He went into this interface fast Ethernet 0/1. He used this command switch port trunk allowed VLAN 30. Now this is what happened. Okay, now what Abhishek did was a common mistake. Okay, he basically replaced the trunk VLANs instead of adding a VLAN to it. Replacing and adding are two different things. Abhishek have to add a VLAN 30. What Abhishek did was he replaced VLAN 10 and 20 with 30. Okay, because he used this command allowed VLAN 30. So what Abhishek have to do is, instead of that, Abhishek might have used another command. I'll show you. Now since you have replaced it, I'll also explain this topology. Since you have replaced, okay, this particular trunk port, there were already 10 and 20 VLAN were allowed and traffic was moving for VLAN 10 and 20. What he did was he replaced this 10 and 20 with 30. So because of that, this users traffic got drop over here only. So they're not able to access any other server. So they're not able to access any server, in fact. So I'll explain. What he should do now. I'll go into the switch. Okay, now already what he has done a mistake is that you can see over here that show interface trunk, and you can see fast Ethernet 0/1 only VLAN 30 is there. Now we have to add two VLANs 10 and 20. So what we are going to do is we will go into fast Ethernet 0/1, sorry, config t interface fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port trunk allowed VLAN. Now Abhishek did mistake over here. Now ahead of this VLAN we have multiple options basically, and one of the option is this add keyword. Okay, so this will help us to add the VLAN, not to replace the VLAN. So add 10. Okay, so this way you can add this VLANs. So we added VLAN 10. Also we have to add 20 also. Okay, so we will also add VLAN 20. You can do it in one single statement also, no issues. Now we will see show interface trunk. Now we will see that all three VLANs are allowed. Let me check whether that user one is now able to ping or not. Yes, now he's able to access, is able to get to that server. Now many times guys this happens, that network engineers do such kind of changes and they get panic. So the best way, I'll also give you a bonus tip over here. The best way, like if you get panic and you don't know which VLANs were added earlier and you wanted to fix this issue as soon as possible, the best command what you can use it, you have to go into that fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port trunk allowed VLAN, and here is the command all. So this is going to allow all the VLANs. If you are not aware which are VLANs were there present earlier, or you are into a panic situation and you wanted to fix the issue as soon as possible, so this you can use. So this is what I've mentioned, I think in the further slides. This is the root cause, guys. Because of that mistake, he added only VLAN, allowed only VLAN 30, and because of that, only the traffic of VLAN 30 was getting forwarded and everything else was getting dropped. So this is what he might have done, which we saw. And this is the lesson from Abhishek. So guys, whenever you are adding VLAN to a trunk port, do remember the mistake what Abhishek did. So always check. This is what you always have to check whenever you are doing some changes related to trunk. Always include this particular command, show interface trunk, in your pre-checks and post-checks. Always use this keyword add, okay, to avoid removing existing VLANs. So if you don't use this keyword add, then you will be removing the existing VLANs, and you will be not adding, you will be replacing the VLANs. Don't assume your changes is just one line. So this is something many people do, like whenever they are, this change is a very simple change, we'll do it and we'll go home. So no change is simple change. You have to take proper pre-checks, post-checks. Proper command should be executed. So a bonus tip which I have already gave you, that switch port trunk allowed VLAN all. So this is something, a command you can use if you panic. So guys, this is what I wanted to basically focus in this video. uh, I wanted my subscribers not to commit this particular mistake, because this mistake can bring a serious outage, serious downtime, and which is not good for a network engineer. So guys, I'll stop here in this video, and I'll request all my subscribers that please do like my videos, please do share my videos. I wanted a few comments from you guys. If you're watching this video, I request you to please comment on my videos. I request the people who are watching the videos and not subscribing to my channel, guys, please do subscribe to my channel, Network Engineer Stuff. I'll catch up in the next video. Till then, bye, thanks, and have a nice day. Thank you.